Hi guys, this is Arif from TechShare. Today I'm gonna show you how quickly we can create a token based authentication using Node.js. Okay, so the intention is we are gonna use Node.js and we'll see how can we easily create that. So we'll create a sample API and then we'll see how can we access that API through the token based authentication. As simple as that. So let's jump into the development. So as you would have already known that in my previous video I have created a small server, or you can say a small web API using Node.js. I have used Express. So the easiest way to use Express is something like this. So you need to first install the Express, node npm install Express, and then what you need to do is you need to first import the Express, and then you need to create a Express app like this. And then what you can do easily is you can say app.listen. You need to provide a port, and then that's all. So this is kind of continuous listening, and then you also need to define the route through which you can listen to different endpoints. So here you will see we have provided this test endpoint. So now the idea is we are gonna create a middleware. In the middleware, what it will do is it will intercept each request, and then it will check if there is any token exist in the request. If it is, then it will extract the token, and then it will validate if the token is the right one, and also the role of the request. I mean, obviously the token also provides the role and everything that you need. You can actually put all the details in the token. When the token is going to generate, you can put everything there, and based on that you can actually take a decision whether you are going to allow that request, or you just need to return a 403 or 401. Okay, so let's jump into that. So in order to create a middle layer, or you can say middleware, what we will do is we will create a simply I will create a file called middleware. This, and here what I'm gonna do is I will do the login first. So through the login we will hard code a user ID and password, and we'll create a token from there. And then what we'll do is the next request we'll check if the token is there, and we'll validate that on there. So first of all, let me do simple thing, function. Let me create a function which will have a app, and then what we can do is we can name it constant my route. Let's make it as simple as possible. Okay, if you use function, then you can actually get rid of that one, but if you don't use function, you can actually do like this. So what we're going to do is we are going to accept a app, and then what we'll do is we'll app dot post, for example. Then we'll do is we'll say login, and this will obviously would be a asynchronous function with request response. Okay, and then here we are gonna export. Okay, now here what we are gonna do is say we have a username that will come from obviously database. So there would be a registration part where we are going to store the user credential, everything in the database. So from there, just assume that you will have a query that will return the username and password. So for example, username is Arif, and then password, let me put it like this, Arif. Okay, and then now at this point we need to install a package. So we're gonna install Json web token. Okay, so what is Json web token is that will give you a library which would be used to create your token, your validation token, and everything. That would be really easier. Okay, you don't need to do it manually by yourself. What you can do, you can easily do that using that. Okay, so what I'll do is I will import that on through the require function, and require will say Json web token. Okay, now here here, and since this is a post, so what we can do is we can take the user name. So for example, body equal to request.body, and from the body, let's say we are going to pass a object called login data. Okay, and this login data will contain the username and password will be passed from your front-end application, and these two will come from backend, means the database. And now what we'll do is, since this is a login, so just think like this: if username equal to login data dot username, at the same time if password equal to login data dot password. If it is true, then we are gonna create a token here. Otherwise, and we'll return from here. Okay, return response dot status dot send. Here we are gonna send the token. That will be done very soon. And here what we'll do is we'll return response dot status 41 dot send something like error, sorry, or you can see invalid user ID and password. Now here we need to generate the token. So for that, let's do token equal to, we can use the JWT dot, here you will see sign in. You can see the sign in. You can pass a payload here. So in the payload you can say username. What I am putting username here in the payload, because later on I will reuse the data. So when they will generate the token also encapsulates my information that is going to provide right now here. So username, and maybe I would like to also put some role. So based on the user, you can have some data stored in the database. The role you can also bring that on in the token. That's the way. What you can do is you don't need to go every time to the database. You can straight away deserialize the token and you can get all the data as you need. So maybe admin, for example. Okay, and then here, so you can provide the data here, and here you need to provide a secret. Secret is important because when you are going to decrypt the token, you also need to provide the same secret. So maybe I will say this is my secret, just hard-coded it nasty way. Okay, and the third option is sign in option. The sign in option is here, means when it's going to expire. So it's going to expire after 24 hours. Okay, so this sign in, all good. So we have the token ready, and now we are also returning the token. So we are gonna test this endpoint very soon. Let me import this my route here, and then we'll pass the pass this one here. Let me do straight away export my route. Don't need anything here. And then what we can do here in the server, we can say something like this. Here we can say require middleware. So this is a middleware, and then here in the middleware here, right? So in the middleware we have this one, and this one is a function. So we need to provide the app there, and for that what you can do is you can simply pass this app here. Okay, and then save that one and then run it. Maybe from here I'll run node server. Okay, it's saying okay, PayPal app. Okay, so I need to go to sample backend, cd sample backend, and then here node server. Okay, so it says export. Okay, sorry, so this way we can say module dot export equal to function app straight away. Yeah, okay, so you can see the server is listening at 8,000. Then we're gonna test this login. So now what I'll do here, it's local host 8,000. This is a post, so I'm gonna put it post http localhost 8,000, and then it would be login, and in the body we are going to give a something like this: username Arif, and then we are also gonna say password Arif. Let's trigger this one and see what's gonna happen now. Okay, so you can see here cannot read login data. That is true, because here where are we? Here this login data we need to provide here, so that would be my login data, and then we need to wrap this object here as well, like this. Cancel it. Okay, let me wrap this one like this. All looks good now. Awesome. So you'll see here we are now getting the token here. So that token doesn't look really good, so what we will do is we will also wrap this one as like this token, and like this way, and this will give some sort of indication that what it is. Now if you will send this request, then you will say this is your token, right? So now the next part is, once we have the token, then we can request, we can make our other endpoint secured, something like this. So for example, now where here, or we already have in the server, we have this backend, right? Sorry, two endpoint test endpoints, for example. So these test endpoints, what we are going to do now, we are going to use this token. So I think let's better use here. So simply what I'll do, I will get my secured endpoint, and here I'll say request response, and I'll say next. This is also important. The idea is here, actually not here. What I'll do is I will validate the token. So for that, let me grab a function here somewhere. Yeah, here. So I will create a function called check token. This would be my request response and next, and then here what I'll do is I'll first grab the token from the request. So we'll say request dot header headers, and here we'll look for a header called x access token. Okay, this one, or we will always pass the header in the authorization, so you also need to see request dot headers authorization. So what we are doing is we are actually grabbing the x access token or authorization, whichever we are getting, and then from there we will say if token dot start with bearer. Okay, if it is, then what we will do is we will say okay, token. So we are gonna slice two part from 7 to length. So here what we are doing is simply so if you count this bearer 1 2 3 4 5 6, and there is always a space after that, like this. So we are going to get rid of this string, and then rest of the thing would be the actual token. So we are actually extracting the token, and then the next thing is quite easy. What we need to do, you need to validate. So if token is not undefined or null, then what we'll do is we'll say JWT, the thing we already imported before, dot verify. In the verify, first we'll place that token, and then second we need to pass the secret we have while generating the token. So the best practice would be to be stored obviously in somewhere in environment variables, but for now I'm just going to hard code this one. And then here what you need to do is you have your verify and secret, and then options, right? So what we are gonna do is here we'll say error and decode dead. This is a callback function. So the idea is if your token and also the secret is okay, then it will execute this callback. It will pass the error object if there is any error. If not, then it will decoded. The token would be decoded for you, and it will give you the data for you. So first we need to check if the error present here. Then obviously we need to return from here. There is nothing we can do, so we can simply say return response.json. Let's just put a JSON object. There is the other way you can do, and then here you can pass success, maybe false, and then you can also pass message or whatever you need. That token is not valid, not right, whatever you can put it here. Okay, and now their part else what you can do, else you can do it that okay, since you have the token, then you can say you can actually push this token to here in your request, and then you immediately call the next means since this will be called inside your other request, or you can say it is a middle layer or middleware kind of thing. So it will actually pass the request to the next request handler, and that way it will not be blocked at all. And then if the token is valid, then it's okay. Otherwise you still can definitely would return something here, return response.json. the same way you can do the JSON. You can say success false obviously, and the message you can say like this, and here you can say the token is not right or authorization is not supplied, whatever you need you can do this. Okay, so this check token, this function is there declared easily, and what we are going to do is we are going to we are going to use this function here. So how we are going to use this one? So we can simply say that okay, this check token, right? So this request before doing anything, so there are two options. You can actually push this thing as a middleware, and that way every request will be going through that. But sometimes what I found is you really don't need to take control of all the requests, but some specific requests. So that way what you can do is you can actually call this on here straight away. So you can say check token dot sorry, not dot. Here you need to pass the request and the response, right? And then here you can call your callback, something like this. So what will happen is this check token, if check token works perfectly fine, then what it will do, it will call the next, means it will execute your request, something like this. So if check token doesn't work, means it returns something, then obviously you will not get a control here inside that one. So here what we will return simply is return, since you will have definitely your logic here, maybe you will do some transaction, you will do some modification on your data or everything, but for now just think that okay, everything will be done by yourself, but I will just return a success here. So we'll say response.json, or you can say response.status, whatever you find okay, dot send. Here we'll return something like this, success, data success, whatever. Okay, and then okay, this is my security endpoint. So now what I'll do again, I will stop this one, and then I'll copy this one, I'll run again, and then here what I'll do is I'll say localhost 8000 / my security endpoint. Let's do this like this way first. Okay, so okay, so it says start with is not found. Okay, so that's because the the token is null. So what we can do, we can further check here if token is null, for example. Then let's do this. If token undefined, for example, return response dot start as 400, for example, or 401 dot send something like this. Let's do token is not present, so you can see the 401 is coming. So what we'll do is now we'll put in the header we'll put the authorization, and here what we will do is bearer, and then we are going to put this. So let's do this, execute one more time. You will have your token here, copy the token, and then here you can paste it here and then send. And I guess there is a problem, something somewhere is happening now. Okay, so it says token dot start with is not a function. Okay, sorry, it's not start with, it starts with. It's my mistake, man. Save it, run again, send it again. Okay, slice, sorry. This is a lot of mistake. SLIC, slice. Okay, let's do another round of it. Okay, awesome. So you can see the data is success, means what happens is the token was validated successfully, therefore it returns the response from here. So just let me modify something here. For example, just put something here, and then you'll see token is not right. So this way what we did just now is secured your endpoint in a way which is recommended. So now we also push some data, right? So what you can do is you can let me console.log request dot decoded. So we have the decoded message, right? So save it and restart the server, and then execute this one. Okay, but this time let me grab the right token and let me paste it here again, and see the data. See, this is the username and role, right? And there are some other data like expiration and everything. in the decoded. So that is really important. Why? So now you have the token and the token is right. Now you need to know about the user name, for example. You will see the username here. You also need to know the role, because based on that you're gonna give some sort of privilege to that user. So that will also be calculated from here. Again, the same way, what you can do, you can push some other data which is really required, maybe the account number, mobile number, whatever you need, email address. You can definitely get that from the database using the username, but the easiest way is to store that on in the request, so that based on that you really don't need to go to the database every time, every request. You can actually grab the data from the token, and actually this is coming from the claims, and then you can actually do your stuff. Okay, so that's it today, and I'm going to push the changes to the repository. I'll also send you the repository URL in the description. So for now, that's all. I already have spent a lot of time to do this small tutorial. Hope you did not mind for that. And okay, I'll catch you very soon in a separate video. Till then, bye bye, and don't forget to subscribe my channel if you like this video. And yeah, give me some feedback if you need to understand, or if you need to know anything about this, just let me know in the comments. See you soon, very soon. Bye bye.